This edition of the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss Grandma's meatballs? The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever gift of Grandma's recipes, or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotobooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books, bringing your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all you need. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, it's time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss Grandma's meatballs, huh? Well, the holidays are coming, and what better time to give a gift for remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever gift for Grandma's recipes or just because, those smiles and tears will just melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw, Picture This Photo Books, at 646-798-0809. That's 646-798-0809, or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books. Bring your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you. Don't forget to check out the Mike Wagner Show on over 30 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter today at the Mike Wagner Show. Check out the great merchandise at themikewagnershow.com. Also on Amazon.com at the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags. Makes great gifts 24/7, not just for the holidays or for loved ones. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mian Mohsen Zia store for t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, and great books like Missing, Once, Wrinkles, and more. And don't forget to support us on Anchor FM as well as PayPal at the Mike Wagner Show or Mike Wagner Voiceover. And also don't forget to support us generously at themikewagnershow.com and make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who founded his first company at 24 and started two others. And he also revolutionized how bacterial infections were diagnosed and also treated and saving lives. And he later started Maris Labs, and well, that's where the trouble began. We're going to talk about that. And two companies out there in the lab testing business have gotten involved and became blood brothers. We'll be talking about the book Blood Money. And he also filed a whistleblower lawsuit. And we're going to talk about what that is and more. He became a fraud fighter and also how to prevent, getting yourself involved with healthcare and also prevent healthcare fraud and more, trying to protect people. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Silicon Valley, the author of Blood Money and fraud fighter, and he was also named 2011 Whistleblower of the Year, the very multi-talented Chris Riedel. Chris, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, nice to see you.
Well, you too as well. And well, first of all, before we talk about your book, Blood Money, you found your first company at 24. You also started two others, and it's also revolutionized how bacterial infections were diagnosed and treated, basically just saving lives. And you later started Maris Labs, and you also have two companies that were after you. They became blood brothers, and you also filed a whistleblower lawsuit, and you became a fraud fighter. And we'll talk about your book, Blood Money, how that came about. And before we get into all that, Chris, tell us how you first got started.
Well, with my first company, I, like a lot of people, I graduated college, had no idea what I was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a job in sales for a medical device company, a small company. And all of a sudden I fell in love with what I was doing. And I thought I saw in research labs a better way to identify which antibiotic would be most effective at which dose. So at the young age of 24, I quit my job, invested what little money I had, and started the company. And it went on to save hundreds of thousands of lives around the world.
Wow. That is amazing. And what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you to say, this is what I'm going to do, besides with, starting a company and discovering the antibacterial infections as well, too? What was that one precise moment that simply lit you up and said, this is what I'm going to do?
I took the idea to my company and they didn't want anything to do with it. So I said, I'm going to do this. It will save lives if I can develop it, make it work, and sell it. It wasn't easy, but I'm so glad I did.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the medical testing as well, too, that, rather common and everything else. And you started your own company, Maris Labs, and maybe just a bit about the company. You also started two others as well, too.
Yes. I'm a serial entrepreneur from Silicon Valley who never thought I would become a fraud fighter in my wildest dreams. Never thought about it, but I did.
Right. And of course, you also had the two companies as well, too, that Quest and Labcorp dominated and became blood brothers. So and before, we talk more about Blood Money as well, too, that, why would those two start coming after you in the first place?
Well, in the first place, they didn't come after me. But when I started my fourth company in 2003, it was a clinical laboratory. You go to your doctor and he orders any type of lab test, from a pap smear to a comprehensive metabolic panel, whatever it is. That's what we would do. And that's what Quest and Labcorp do. And we invested basically all of our life savings and had a beautiful lab with the best equipment you can find, 150 employees. And we loved the services that the lab provided. But after 2 years, my sales force came to me and said, Chris, for a part of the testing that's billed directly to the physician, which is a very minor part, only about 10%, Quest and Labcorp have these deeply discounted prices, often below cost, that they offer physicians. And their business model was, we will lose money on those tests because it hooks the physician to send us all of his business, his Medicare, Medicaid, and private insurance business. And that's where they made their money.
And where were the, go ahead, I'm sorry.
And so, when I saw that these prices were below cost, my first concern was, well, if I tried to compete, I'm not sure I could have, will I have any legal liability? I called our regulatory counsel and he said, oh yeah, these are clear kickbacks. Their entire business model is based off federal and state kickback violations. And in addition, in California, where I reside, the Medicaid program by law is entitled to the lowest charge to any other patient or payer. So these deeply discounted fees should have been passed on to the Medicaid program, and they weren't. They were often charged, taxpayers were often charged 20 to 40 times what they were willing to sell those tests for. It was just blatant fraud.
Wow. That is something. And of course, what are some of the other actions were Quest and Labcorp and others doing that, hurt your lab company, which is Hunter Labs and everything else?
Yeah. And so eventually, after a lot of thought, I came to the conclusion that I had three choices. I could either knowingly violate federal and state law, and I wasn't going to do that. I could shut the laboratory, lay off 150 people, and write off almost all of our net worth. Or I could try and do something about it to stop it. And the only way to do that, I found, was to file a whistleblower lawsuit, which is a lawsuit you file on behalf of the government. So it's the government that's technically filing the lawsuit. And that's what I chose to do, although it took me 4 months to convince my wife to let me do it. She was our president, so she was very involved in the business. And finally, I wore her down and she said, Chris, okay, but if this ever comes back to hurt our children, I will never forgive you.
Wow. That is a very, very, very strong statement. And, whistleblower lawsuits have been, fairly common. And there's also the qui tam as well, too. That's also connected to a Lincoln law. Right.
Those are the same thing. Qui tam is French. It means on behalf of the king, whereas we're actually suing on behalf of either a federal or a state government.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And do you think, people are stepping up more as whistleblowers, or you think they're just like holding back?
Well, I did not know what happens to whistleblowers when I filed this suit. And if I did know, I would have probably listened to my wife. Whistleblowers, if you file a whistleblower lawsuit, your life will never be the same. Once the bad boy companies find out who has filed that lawsuit, they will do everything they can to destroy you. They'll blackball you so you can't get a job. You'll end up unemployed, unemployable, and bankrupt and probably divorced. And it happens time and time again. Now, the odds of success, like I had, are less than the odds of being hit by lightning. So it's very slim odds. There are things potential whistleblowers can do to protect themselves. And I have a whole chapter in Blood Money on here's what you need to do if you're really going to go through with this.
Okay. That's amazing. We'd like to hear more about that.
Okay. Well, the first thing is you need to gather evidence. And so whatever evidence of the fraud you can find, be they emails, documents, what people have told you, get it out of the building. And don't use any of the company phones or computers. Then put it all together, write it up in a brief summary such that a 12-year-old can clearly understand it. Then the first thing I recommend people do is a cottage industry that's grown up of litigation funders. And what they will do is if they like your case, they will offer cash anywhere from $1 to maybe $5 million.
Wow.
In exchange for a portion of whatever you may win. Now, this is non-recourse, so it's your money forever. It's not coming back, whether the lawsuit works out or not. If a litigation funder believes in your lawsuit, you probably have a very good lawsuit. So that's the first thing I recommend.
Mm-hmm.
And that way also, that money will support you, when you can't get a job. But you also should go find a new job so that you already have a job. It's harder to fire someone than to prevent that person from being hired.
Mm-hmm.
So it's simple steps like that, and I just lay them out.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we'll talk about the early cases as well, too. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is a key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at a wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss grandma's meatballs, huh? Well, the holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever you get for grandma's recipes or just because, those smiles and tears will just melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw, Picture This Photo Books at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books. Bring your memories back to life. The whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you. Don't forget to check out the Mike Wagner Show on over 30 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter today at the Mike Wagner Show. Check out the great merchandise at the MikeWagnerShow.com and also on Amazon under the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, great books by Mia Molson-Zia, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mia Molson-Zia store for lots of great goodies, and support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, as well as PayPal and also the MikeWagnerShow.com, and make sure you do so today. We're here with author Chris Riedel of Blood Money here on the Mike Wagner Show, and we talked about how he founded his first company at 24 and started 2 others, and revolutionized how the testing has where it's at today. And we also talked about, some of the whistleblower cases as well, too. And before we do that, we also talked about how outrageous the tests have become. And Quest and Labcorp dominated. And basically, it's like, what's the extent of medical fraud in the United States, and how much of it's still going on?
Well, it's massive. The FBI estimates that 1 out of 4 healthcare dollars is lost to fraud. 1 out of 4. Now think, if we could get rid of that, your healthcare costs would go down 25%.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a big number. Unfortunately, the Department of Justice is, in my experience, more interested in affordable civil settlements than stopping fraud. And until that attitude changes, fraud is not going to be hurt much because it pays. In my cases, many cases, the DOJ is very happy to take a settlement of 20 to 30 cents on the dollar stolen, leaving the fraudsters keeping 70 to 80%, with no one getting fired, no one going to jail. In fact, they all get generally raises and more stock options. And until they're ready to put people in jail and make it clear fraud won't pay, why should a fraudster stop?
Mm-hmm. Right. And I'm thinking about it as well, too, that, with the current administration we have, and do you think the current administration would assist in shutting down the fraud, or do you think our past administration would have done that, or would they have done nothing about it?
Well, I don't think an administration makes a difference. It's the people, the civil servants within the Department of Justice. That's their policy. The whistleblower statute was designed to be a private-public partnership where the whistleblower and his attorneys work with the government. I mean, we are the ones, the insider knows how these companies work. And we provide very good free attorneys to the Department of Justice. Unfortunately, the main justice in Washington, D.C. has a policy. They're not going to work with whistleblowers and their attorneys. They're going to do it all on their own. They hate the whistleblower statute. And whenever they do that, it generally doesn't turn out well and has not turned out well in my many lawsuits. On the rare occasions when state governments worked with us, it turned out very well.
Mm-hmm. And of course, let's talk about some of the earlier cases as well, too, accumulating in the 241 million judgment in California that really put you and your attorneys on the map as well, too, as major fraud fighters in the medical lab space. And what are some of the cases, that you had won as well, too, in victorious?
Yes. And after those were state cases, and we had the same cases in several other states. And then I moved to federal cases and had experience with the Department of Justice. And I've had quite a few federal cases as well. One of them resulted in a jury verdict of $114 million.
Wow, amazing. Amazing. And of course, besides the Quest, California versus Quest Diagnostics, also Florida was involved too with Quest as well too. And of course, you had U.S. versus Boston Heart Labs, U.S. versus Health Diagnostic Labs, and Blue Wave. It's like, whew, the list goes on and on and on and on.
Yes. And there's quite a story in Florida. Like California, they worked with us. And it was the same defendants, the same facts, and an even stronger law. And these companies weren't passing on the lowest charge. And so Labcorp hired a lobbyist who convinced a 26-year-old legislator to introduce a bill that would eliminate the lowest charge law and make it retroactive. Now, why would anybody in government want to penalize taxpayers? But in this case, during a routine hearing, the Attorney General herself, Pam Bondi, hid out in a bathroom. She didn't want anybody to know she was there. So she walks in the middle of this hearing, and immediately it stops. And the chairman says, "Well, Mrs. Attorney General, we've never seen you in one of these hearings. Is there something you'd like to say?" And she says, "Well, indeed there is." She said, "This bill has no place. We are involved in very active litigation. And if Labcorp and Quest want to fight it, it should be in the courts, not in the legislature." And the bill was tabled. But then the same lobbyist went to Rick Scott, the governor of Florida, now chairman of the Republican National Committee. And Governor Scott wrote basically a demand to the Department of Health Services saying that you will testify you did not know about this law, and nobody knew about this law, and we can't hold anybody accountable because nobody knew about it. He gutted his own Attorney General's lawsuit. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, that's a guy that should have gone to jail for the Healthcare of America lawsuit. He was the CEO of HCA when they stole billions from taxpayers. And they actually kept 2 sets of books during that time.
Really? Double booking? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and nobody went to jail.
Wow. I'm just shaking my head over this whole ordeal. California, Florida, and I guess the question is, it's almost like, what's next? And what are some of the other cases that get involved, besides California and Florida and also Massachusetts? What are other states, like say with Illinois, New York, or Washington State, or Texas, or any other states? What are some of the results from that?
Well, New York is another actually pretty funny story. After we, in the middle of our litigation in California, the Assistant Attorney General we worked with asked us, he said, I go to these national meetings, and a lot of states would like you to file the same lawsuit in their state. So we looked for all the ones that had lowest charge by law, and New York was one of them. So we filed there. And after 2 years, one of the assistant attorney generals called up and said, the law is clear, the facts are clear, but we think the law is bad public policy. So we are ordering you to dismiss it with cause, so that it can't be brought back. Then after our California settlement became public, we got a call from somebody else in the attorney general's office saying, when are we going to get our money?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This book, I mean, there's so many twists and turns and completely unpredictable things that happened. And I tried to write it like a true crime thriller, page turner. And so people could experience the ups and downs as I did.
Mm-hmm. And of course, highlighting some of the big wins that you have done as well, too. How about some of the disappointments? What can people learn from them?
That the judges do what judges do. Here's a great example in Michigan. After 4 years, the attorney general there decided they were going to prosecute this case with us. Mm-hmm. So they immediately served it on the defendants. And of course, the defendants filed a summary judgment motion, which is a motion to try and throw it out of court because it doesn't have sufficient facts. And we had no doubt that we had plenty of facts. I mean, we had tons of them. So we go in front of the judge, and the judge looked at the assistant attorney general and said, this is the oldest case on my docket. If the attorney general's office doesn't think enough of it to get it to me in less than 4 years, I'm not going to stand it. Bam, case dismissed.
Wow. And of course, also happened in Nevada as well, too, of all places, too. We look in the book, we covered Michigan and also covered, New York and, Virginia and places as well, too. So, wow.
Yeah. It was totally unpredictable how these governments would respond. And oftentimes it was antagonistically. They viewed me as the bad guy for bringing this to their attention.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you're the one that also brought up about, excessive fraud too, with Medicare as well, too. The fact that I'm just trying to put this is that what are some of the things that, people don't know about when it comes to the Medicare and Medicaid? And also, what are some of the hidden ones that people should know about? And what are some of the things that they should be on the look for? We covered like the lab tests. It's like $50, $100, $3,000, $10,000 or so. And of course, my experience is my wife was getting some tests and keep getting the same bill. We pay it. And it's like same bill. Then the collectors, we paid it, stuff like that. It's like, what do taxpayers not realize about how lab billing, Medicare, and states handle by these unscrupulous companies?
Let me give your listeners some guidance. Look very carefully at what you get from the insurance company. It's called an explanation of benefits. That will show for every procedure how much was billed, how much they paid, and how much is your obligation. And if there's a lot of stuff where it looks fishy, pick up the phone and call the insurance company. And in my experience, more times than not, the fact that you picked up the phone and called them, they'll make an accommodation or they'll just write the whole thing off. Don't just pay it. And don't ignore it, because then you will go to collection.
And what are some of the other things that people should know about, Medicare, Medicaid, billing, and everything else? What are some other steps people can protect themselves?
Well, if you're if you get laboratory tests and you get more than about 15, 20 tests, you need to call your doctor and say, why did you order these tests? Because it's rare when you need to have more than that. And one of the laboratories that health diagnostic labs actually had a panel of 70 tests. But here was their pitch. Doctor, we'll pay you up to $80 every time you order this. And we will never bill your patients. So there's no downside for the doctor to order all 70 tests.
Mm-hmm.
Government went after them. They lost this big verdict. The company went into bankruptcy. And the bankruptcy trustee comes along and says, well, this was fraud. And he now sends a letter out to all of the patients saying, you know, you should have paid $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in copay and deductible fees. Pay up now. So, you know, if something sounds too good to be true, probably is.
And that's what they say as well, too. You also work with two great attorneys as well, too. And how's their dedication, commitment to the cause, and teamwork with you advance your efforts and draw more attention to this issue, not just locally, not just in the state, but nationwide?
Neil McCarthy of Cotchett, Petrie and McCarthy and Justin Berger are two of the finest attorneys I've ever met and finest people I've ever met. And it has been a real pleasure working with such dedicated and intelligent people. They know real well what can be accomplished and what can't be accomplished. And I have tremendous respect for them.
Mm-hmm. And certainly as well, too, you're also named Taxpayers Against Fraud 2011 Whistleblower of the Year, and congratulations to that. And what did that mean to you?
Well, at the time, I didn't know what Taxpayers Against Fraud was. And I was told, you know, you got to go. They're going to give you this award. So I show up with my two attorneys, Neil McCarthy and Justin Berger. Here's this room filled, this ballroom filled with lawyers, all dressed up, and it's very formal. And they sit me down right in front, and somebody got up and gave an incredible opening for me. And I realized I'm going to have to get up and say something. I had no idea what to say, but I now know that Taxpayers Against Fraud is a wonderful organization. It really represents whistleblowers, and it was an incredible honor to be named by them that year as Whistleblower of the Year. It's a very proud accomplishment of mine.
Mm-hmm. And certainly as well, too. And what changes do you feel need to happen in the medical lab space in the 2020s for fraud to be reduced, taxpayer not to be ripped off, quality of tests, and what Hunter is providing, and in a perfect day as well?
It's up to the Department of Justice to change their view. And instead of letting labs sign these cheap settlements, say, we are going to be of the mindset, fraud on taxpayers will not pay. And in fact, I have a chapter at the back of the book on 9 recommendations from the Department of Justice. Here's one of them. Very simple, doesn't cost taxpayers anything. If a company is caught and they sign a settlement agreement with the government, or they're convicted at trial, then all the monies during the course of the fraud, which is usually 7 years, that were paid to the board of directors and senior management come back to the government. If you do that, the board of directors are going to be very serious about not having any hint of fraud, and they're going to hire regulatory counsels to report to them rather than management.
Wow.
Simple suggestion.
Mm-hmm. And that's a very good suggestion as well, too. And we'll cover one more topic about blood money, what's coming up for Chris Riedel and more. Listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international war-ring author Mian Molson-Zia Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Also brought to you by Picture This Photo Books. Remembering is a key ingredient. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotobook.com. We'll be back with author Chris Riedel and Whistleblower of the Year 2011 and the book Blood Money after this time out. This edition of the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss Grandma's meatballs? The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever gift of Grandma's recipes, or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books, bringing your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and and always uniquely you.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We're back with author Chris Riedel and fraud fighter, whistleblower of blood money here on the Mike Wagner Show. And it took a lot to really get into writing blood money as well, too. And it took some time. It took a lot of sacrifice. And I mean, you just had one heck of a journey, just writing about blood money.
I did, but I enjoyed it. It was very cathartic for me. So for me, it was a pleasure. Yeah, it's a lot of time. And at times, you go, why am I doing this? But I enjoyed it, and I'm glad I did it. And I think it's an important topic to educate people in this country about how much fraud there is.
Mm-hmm. And also to basically learn about the Keaton Law, Lincoln Law, and what to do and what to look for. And you also explain the steps in the book. And if there's something we haven't covered, you can talk about as well.
Well, I also wrote the book. I wanted to make it a true crime thriller, a page turner. It wasn't just I wanted to expose this stuff. And a lot of people have told me they've had difficulty putting it down. So I feel like that's a success. And it is an Amazon bestseller.
It certainly is. And what can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond? Are we expecting a sequel to Blood Money?
Actually, I'm looking at several things now, but I haven't committed yet. So we'll have to wait and see.
We certainly look forward to doing so, Chris. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Oh, in my career?
Yes. Or just in general?
Gee, I don't know. That's hard to say. I was born with this moral compass and a desire to work hard and try and develop new things. And in my career as a CEO, I loved inventing and then developing life-saving technologies.
Mm-hmm. And that's certainly a really good one as well, too. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Oh, boy. Anybody that wants to be an entrepreneur, it's hard. Don't ignore your family. It's easy to get wrapped up in your passion, but you only have one family, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. And that's a very good point as well, too. Once again, author Chris Riedel of Blood Money and fraud fighter, whistleblower as well, too. Chris, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor. Keep us up to date. Love you back in 2021 and beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. Once again, tell us about your upcoming project. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your book?
Thank you, Mike.
And your website as well?
Oh, it's chrisriedel.com.
Okay. Where can we
Riedel?
Okay. Where can we purchase your book at?
Anywhere that books are available. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, audio, whatever. Anywhere you buy books, you're going to find. Just type in Blood Money in my name.
We certainly would do so. Once again, Chris, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor. Keep us up to date. Love you back in 2021 and beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. You've been absolutely terrific.
Thank you, Mike.
Picture this photo books, where remembering is the key ingredient. Preserving memories, keeping the memories of your loved ones alive as they reach in and touch your heart. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whether it's a gift of past holidays, grandma's recipes, long ago moments, or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809. Once again, that's 646-798-0809. Or visit picturethisphotobooks.com.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.